If this feels familiar, it's because WWE does this over and over again. And this video isn't really about just one wrestler, it's about a pattern. We've seen it with Dolph Ziggler, we've seen it with a lot of people over the years. WWE creates momentum, the crowd responds, everything feels like it's finally clicking, and then it stops. Let's get into it. Let's get into it. Let's try different stuff. I think I like, let's get into it. WWE doesn't fail stars randomly, and it's not usually about the talent. What WWE does repeatedly is create momentum, then they pull back at the exact wrong moment. And that's not accidental. That's structural. That's structure. Ugh. That's structural. Structural. That's structural. So the first pattern we're going to talk about is the start and stop push. Here's how it usually goes. A wrestler starts getting real crowd reactions. They're having strong performances. Fans are paying attention. They get a brief spotlight. Maybe a big match. Maybe a win that feels important. And then suddenly, the momentum passes. The direction disappears. Weeks go by. Nothing builds. And the problem is that consistency matters more than a momentary push. You can't just tap someone on the shoulder and expect it to stick. Momentum needs follow through. The second pattern that we're going to talk about is trust issues with organic reactions. WWE prefers a controlled narrative, to say the least. Long-term plans are set well in advance. So when crowds react in a way that WWE didn't really plan for, there's hesitation. Instead of leaning in, they slow it down. They wait, they reassess, and that hesitation turns the wrestler's momentum into a giant question mark. And that's how wrestlers end up labeled as almost instead of the guy. The third pattern we're going to talk about is timing over talent, but how WWE does the opposite. Talent is rarely the issue here. Timing is what's everything. The wrong feud, the wrong opponent, the wrong follow-up. WWE often waits too long to pull the trigger, or they react after the momentum has already passed. And by the time they commit, the energy is just not the same anymore. So why does this keep happening? I think this keeps happening because this system is risk averse. There's this weird unspoken fear of crowning someone too fast. There's overcorrections from past mistakes, and above all, I think the system just values control over momentum. I don't think that means that WWE doesn't care. I think it means they prioritize safety or what's safe to go with instead of instinct and what us as a crowd is telling them. And I think we all know that sometimes wrestling just doesn't work that way. You can see this with Dolph Ziggler, you can see this with Jey Uso, and with a lot of other almost stars throughout the years. Different eras, same patterns. This isn't just about individual cases anymore, to me. It's about repetition. In conclusion, WWE doesn't lack talent. They struggle with commitment at the right moment. And that's why the cycle just keeps repeating itself. And it might continue to keep repeating itself. Who knows? If you've been watching wrestling long enough, you've seen this cycle. And if this felt familiar, I know for a matter of a fact that you're not alone because I know I'm not alone just by going on Twitter. So that's the end of this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really, really appreciate it. Give this video a thumbs up and leave a comment below. And tell me what wrestler you think was an almost superstar like Dolph or like Jey. And if you also think that this is a pattern and it needs to end. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye and cut.